double law. Right. Underground where we are. Right. If you keep it a buck and I keep it a buck, then we all gonna be alright. Cause we want the ball, right. The money, the bitches and all. Right. The figures, the digits, the exquisite visits to all of the different shows. Right.
I was still want more. Private jets to Caribbean shores. Girls in bikini, champagne grapes on my feed me. Smoking the lettuce for sure. Penthouse on the beach, champagne spilling hot tub where we reach.
You're in tune to the 2 MCs in the Mic podcast with your host, Link the Boss, Blam the General.
Welcome to another episode.
Yeah.
Of the 2 MCs in the Mic podcast. I go by the name Link the Boss.
And I go by the name Blam the General.
What's going on, bye brother? How you been, man?
Good, man. You know, just doing what it do.
We got guests in here from out of country, from sweet Jamaica.
Oh, go on.
Yeah. We got Chrome in the building with us. Big up to Chrome, you know what I mean?
Glad for that.
Yes. Video editor, web marketing, you know what I mean?
All of that.
And add to his resume. Photographer.
Whatever you need and more.
Yeah, so we building our team, not just internally, but externally, international team. Teammates,
right, man.
Networking, man.
We all over the map.
We always working, man.
Yeah. So we here now. So now we got somebody to run the camera. Our shit could probably look a little better.
Yeah, man.
We fixing the audio. We trying to fix the video. Get shit looking good. So we can't complain.
Live, man. All the way live.
So we got old Santa Blam over there.
Yeah, you know. Want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to get us in the spirit, even though I don't really celebrate the pagan holidays
Facts.
and all that. But, you know, some people do. So this is for y'all.
Exactly. You giving away gifts and shit? Yeah.
Yeah, you know, Santa always got to give away some gifts, man.
All right, cool.
You know
so
what I mean?
You gonna drop it in jewels, huh?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You getting some jewels today.
Get some jewels today.
Merry Christmas, niggas.
Yeah, man. Damn, we ain't even getting no white or no brown today. What the fuck is we doing?
Hold on. There's somebody and some brown in here somewhere.
I know there's some white and brown somewhere right here. But
right.
Man.
Yeah, we'll do that in the next set, man.
Definitely. So we're here and we want to talk about this ungodly prison system that we have and how it's such a business now that we got to understand how we move, because the things that we normally would be able to get away with back in the day
definitely can't get away with it nowadays.
Exactly. And I know you got some stories. I don't want to always put your business out there, so whatever you can share, because I may say something and line up something. They be like, man, nigga, I ain't trying to talk about that. So before we go there,
man, go ahead, speak.
No. I just want to say that the federal government and they done privatized prison is taking over.
Yes,
especially in the South where we were at, there's privatized prison, so they get money for each one of them beds that they fill.
Oh yeah, we speak about that the other day. We was talking about how the Democrats is all about locking motherfuckers up,
right?
And the Republicans is all about making their money, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess with that being said, I'm trying to break it down to these youngins that your moves that you think that you getting away with, and the reason why your time for your crimes is so high.
Because it's a business. The longer your ass stay in there, the more money they make off your ass.
Right.
Know what I mean? That's how it goes in today's time.
Right. And I'm always preaching that you can't win at a game if you don't understand how the game is being played.
Exactly. Nobody even worries about or think about trying to figure out how the game is being played. They just look at it as, punishment, I do a crime, I go to jail.
Right.
Not realizing that there's a design behind that shit.
Right.
On why so many motherfuckers is going to jail, because it's fucking money.
Cool. So I'm going to break it down for them based on my knowledge. And I'm sure you could chime in regards to some of the stuff that goes on behind them brick walls.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So what I know and understand is that there's privatized prison, a lot of them in the South, up north, all over. And what it is that the government is paying privatized companies to house prisoners because they're saying they could do it more efficient and save the government more money. So they get paid per head, per bed.
Oh yeah, I remember I remember I was locked when I was in prison.
Right.
They had motherfucking federal inmates with motherfucking regular state inmates.
Mm-hmm.
All they housed everything.
Right.
Know what I mean? The federal prisoners, they was there until their court dates was up. And the way they do their court dates is crazy. You might get a court date this year and not have another one till a whole year later.
Right.
Know what I mean? And they wasn't supposed to be housing the state inmates with the motherfucking federal inmates, but they didn't have enough room to house everybody separately, so they had federal inmates bunked with motherfucking state inmates. The only difference was if you was a federal inmate, you could get the bottom bunk automatic.
Why is that?
I was about to ask that.
I have not the slightest idea, but that's what it was. So, you know, if you in a cell by yourself and then you get a federal inmate in there and you on the bottom bunk, they coming in trying to take that bottom bunk. So, you know, that always cause some kind of hiccup.
Get the fuck out of here.
Dead ass.
For real, for real?
Yes, man. They make, the CO will wake you the fuck up. They brought them in there at 4:00 in the morning. They'll wake your ass up and tell you to move to that top bunk. Know what I mean? And you had to move. Wasn't no, nah, I ain't doing that. Me, I used to be like, yeah, I'll move on the floor. I put my shit on the floor as soon as the CO go. Nigga, get on that fucking top bunk, bro. I mean, it ain't going down like that, nigga. I gotta live here too, bro. This is my house.
We gonna figure this out
This
together.
is my house before it was yours. Cause technically, if you in there doing your time, that's your house.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, nigga, this is my house before it was yours. So I know what they saying, but
That's not, yeah.
This is how we gonna move.
Exactly.
Know what I mean? Cause we gotta be men about this situation.
Exactly.
You know that shit is wrong. It's not, I mean, it's your privilege. But
I'm scared of heights, and you better be motherfucking.
diggity, man.
You better be okay with heights.
I mean, only problem with that, see, if a nigga try and give you problems about taking the top bunk, there's a way that you can make a nigga want to be on the top bunk. You know what I mean?
Explain.
All right, you got 2 bunks.
Mm-hmm.
So a motherfucker laying down on the top bunk, you just slide over wherever his fucking head is at.
Mm-hmm.
You slide your ass over there, dangle your feet down, just sit on your top bunk with your feet in a nigga face. You feel me? Like, oh, you want to be an asshole? I know how to be a true ass, and I can fucking throw these things too. So if you want to go that route, we could do that too.
I promise you, if that was me, I'll fucking grab both. This motherfucker down.
Of course.
I'm just saying, we gonna have to go at it.
We would go at it.
Yeah.
We were gonna go at it anyway if you take that bottom bunk.
Exactly.
I was sleeping there, so
Exactly.
it's already an issue.
Exactly. I feel you.
I just don't want to make the first move and be like, all right, nah, man.
Me personally.
So I do shit that'll make a motherfucker want to, like, either you gonna be like, yo, give me the top bunk. And then you probably do the same thing I did.
Exactly. So,
Know what I mean?
yeah. So,
So eventually we had to come to some kind of understanding because this could go on forever. And if we doing years.
Right. It don't matter.
Exactly.
But I guess what I'm saying is that, I'm walking in like, yo, you was already here. You know,
Of
you
course.
good? Me on some.
That's how most
trying
people
to
do.
set shit like.
That's how most people do.
Now
But you know,
fuck what they say.
You got the younger dudes coming in. They be thinking that it's like that.
They think it's all sweet because
sometimes you gotta let them understand. Like, listen, young blood.
It's not gonna happen
You know
like
what I mean?
that.
This is not how we moving. I mean, I understand what they telling you, but there's a thing in prison called respect, nigga.
Yeah,
and respect is everything in prison. So if you ain't gonna show me nothing, then guess what? It's gonna be a problem.
And you ain't getting nothing.
You know what I mean? It's gonna be I'm gonna always show a motherfucker respect. I'm gonna respectfully bust that ass.
Exactly.
Know what I'm saying?
No cap.
So, anyway, I knew this was going to be an interesting conversation. So, we're giving you violations as we tell you how this shit
man,
goes.
you know.
So state prisons, I'm not sure about federal prison, but state prisons are now being run by private entities that are traded on the stock market. So you could buy prison stock in some of these big companies. These are stocks that they buy, and what they're doing is they know what the price of a prisoner is to house. So I'm gonna use numbers that we could comprehend. I'm gonna use 100. So let's just say they get $100 per day
for each inmate.
Per inmate. So the longer the sentence is the guaranteed amount of money that they know that the government is going to pay them to house that prisoner. Now, if they're getting $100, they're not spending $100. They have to make a profit. So if they get $100 for you, they're probably only feeding you $20 or $30 a day worth of food. So the food cost is going to be cheaper.
You're gonna have a bunch of Like in the prison I was in, these motherfuckers would give you some dirty drawers,
Yes.
dirty socks.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Me, I used to be like, listen, just let me keep my drawers.
Right.
You know what I mean? And until I could buy something.
Right.
Cause they got all that shit on commissary, so you
You could just go
niggas-
buy. Yeah.
But when you first go in, them motherfuckers will make you put on some fucked up ass drawers if you ain't,
You got no money or nothing.
or you don't know how to talk.
Exactly.
Gotta at least know how to talk to a CO. If you came in being an asshole, them niggas will give you the worst shit in the world to wear. Talking about there, have your ass rocking some shitty drawers, socks that you know had some crusty ass feet in them. Know what I mean? Ain't even been washed properly, you know what I mean? Jumper that's either super tight or mad baggy. You know what I'm saying? How you in a fucked up situation, man. You don't want, who wants to be walking around with a tight ass jumpsuit on? Nobody wants to walk around in a jumpsuit, period. But being that you got on a motherfucking spandex jumpsuit, nigga, that shit
Not
is-
gonna be good.
That shit is not a good look, especially
Nah.
in prison with niggas that's never even been with a woman before. You feel me?
Yeah. So what end up happening is these prison companies are more interested in getting people for longer sentences. So now with the prison companies, though, that have been traded on the stock company, they lobby for these crime bills to make people have longer stay. So they concoct words like super predators, 3 strikes and you're out. These situations started to come in when they started to create privatized prisons because they needed longer sentences. They needed you to stay there longer. You were a guaranteed check.
Exactly. The longer
Because
you
the
there,
state, the
more
government, taxpayers is paying to house you. It's a guaranteed check. So think about it now. You have a 5,000 person prison. You have all beds filled. You're getting $100 per bed. So you're making $5,000 a day. You know what I'm saying? I'm just using those numbers. Shit probably be 50 or half a million a day. Who knows what the fuck it is. But they have all of that going on. And it's like, you know what? If I could lock motherfuckers down in here longer, that one inmate is a dollar figure for me. So now they're like, yo, they're lobbying for people who in Congress and all these places to pass bills to hold people in prison at a longer state, a longer time period, longer situation. So you're looking at the fact that when you'd get a weed charge in the South, and it would be 6 months, now that's 2 years.
2 years.
Up top, you would only get probation.
Not even, depending on how much weed it was.
Yeah. You probably don't get nothing. But in the South, a simple, an eighth, right? Or something like that. On some other shit, if you had crimes or whatever prior situations, you may be looking at 9 months to 2 years, something crazy like that, just for that. Now, when I used to know that you would get damn near 15 to 20 years for a gun in New York, but you get 10 to 15 for a murder. You'd get more times in New York for having a gun
You would for shooting
than you would
somebody.
for killing somebody. Yes. And then, so what they did now is we became all these super predators and all these things and all these strikes they put on you. So now when the gun charge of the murder now becomes 35, 40 years of that $100 every day for your body being in that building, because now you're being housed on privatized prison money.
Yeah, and they made us super predators by only broadcasting the crimes that we were committing as like black, brown people.
Right.
Those are the only crimes you would see happening
On the news. Yeah.
Now, I mean, this is before the whole motherfucking internet era. Know what I mean? So they was able to create the agenda that
Make it
would
look like we
make
were
us
just the
look like
worst.
we was the worst motherfuckers on the planet. That's why the jails was full of us.
Exactly right.
Meanwhile, the true motherfucking reason was that they wanted to get that money and they wanted to take us off the streets. They wanted to break up the happy home.
That was a 10-year plan,
know
bro.
what I mean?
They don't even tell you, but that was a plan
what I'm
that they
saying?
decide on how they wanted to get this thing.
And you notice the crazy part, right? Is nowadays we do have the internet.
Right.
So we got the internet and it shows people with their regular cell phones is recording shit that's not coming from the news no more. And
Right.
That's why this whole police brutality shit is going down, because now niggas is actually seeing all the brutal shit these motherfuckers been doing to people, where it has been hidden in the past.
Right.
Before they had a way to hide it. Now they can't hide that shit.
Right. And to piggyback on that, it goes to show why in our neighborhoods we don't trust them. Mm-hmm. One. It goes to show why if you figure that, if the cops is behaving like this, if the next nigga fuck with me, I'm letting him get it. Mm-hmm. Because I already know how crooked the cops is already anyway, so I'm going to have to handle this outside. And these are all things that they created to do that. So they would have police. It starts with the police making sure that they're rounding up bodies and locking them up to add charges to them. So that now when you become in the system so much, they let you in, let you out because they're processing you. Yes. They know that now they're getting so much charges on you that they're going to fling some time on you.
They're expecting you to catch another charge. So they might smack you on the wrist.
Yeah.
On a certain charge where you were supposed to
No. Hold up. You remember, I don't want you to forget that charge where you told me they wanted you to take the charge for that tranny situation.
Yeah.
They wanted, so they'll get you on a charge.
Another charge and railroad you into a whole nother charge.
And tell you to pick up other charges.
They be like, listen, man, we got you on this, and this. You might only did one thing off of that list.
Right.
But they'll give you a small sentence to get you to cop out to the other two. But if you say you ain't copping out to the other two, then your sentence triples.
Right. And what
for one charge.
Right. But what they're doing is, if you have so much charges on your docket, when they catch you on the next situation,
through the roof.
Now you're through the roof. Exactly. So, cause you done picked up XYZ, even though you technically didn't do 2 or 3 of them motherfuckers. Mm-hmm. But because you knew that you was get to go home quicker, you just say, I'll cop out to all of that because I'm only going to have to do 6 months. So you don't looking at the time, but not looking at that you're stacking your paperwork. You're stacking your file. So now what end up happening is when they catch you on some other shit, and it could just be anything. You could just be riding with the wrong nigga and they catch him and he got some shit in the car. And they're like, I'm charging both y'all with it. I don't give a fuck if he says his. I think it's both of y'all's.
Exactly. And you just end up with a fucked up charge, but your record is so bad that you're going to get sentenced. That might be his first offense.
Exactly.
But it might be your fourth.
Free. Yeah.
Might be your fourth offense. So you about to get the book thrown at you while he get a stop on the bridge for the same motherfucking charge.
Because he's just starting his docket. He's just starting his charges.
His paperwork just starting up.
Exactly. But your shit been already solidified for a minute.
That shit should be like, I don't understand how that's not double jeopardy.
When the judge see your paperwork, they're like, okay.
Especially
here.
in the feds, man.
Right.
Because when you go federal, they use all your past motherfucking convictions against you.
Right.
That shit determines how much time you get. So even if you got a charge that really only holds motherfucking 4 years, but you got an extensive ass record, they could career you out and you ain't getting nothing less than 15 now.
Right. They got
based on your old charges that you got back in the day.
They got mandatory minimums.
Exactly.
So it's not like the judge even have nothing to say about it. If you fit this criteria, you start here. Mm-hmm. And then in between there may be a year or two swing, 5 year or so swing that he could determine if he want to add to it or not.
He want to give you the low amount or the high amount.
Exactly.
Normally it's something like from 4 to 7 years.
Right.
All right. You can get anywhere from 4 to 7 years, which they counted in months.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But 4 to 7 years. Now, say you're charged, the crime that you actually committed only holds 4 to 7 years. Mm-hmm. But you also got a past history of doing some other shit.
That gets considered into the 4 to 7 years.
No, it don't even get considered in the 4 to 7 years when they give you your PSI, which is your motherfucking probation report and all that shit. Mm-hmm. They determine whether you're a career criminal or not. And that all goes based on your past history. So if you had like, say, 3 felonies in the past that didn't have nothing to do with the felony you caught now.
Right. That
shit is going to tack on 10 to 20 fucking years on your sentence.
Right.
Based on some shit you already paid for. That shit should be like a double jeopardy type shit situation, but you know, that's how they get niggas.
Wild, man.
And they also, the reason why their conviction rate is so fucking high is because
people play out.
If you say you got a sentence, say you got a charge that holds, some years on it.
Mm-hmm.
It might be some shit that you ain't even do. Say you ain't even do nothing.
Facts.
But you was caught up in some conspiracy that some other motherfuckers had, but they tied you to it through phone conversations or whatever. you motherfucking looking at a whole bunch of time because it's a conspiracy for one. Know what I mean? For two, when you do get sentenced, they're going to offer you something. They're going to offer you something. Say you looking at 70 years. I could use somebody as an example. I got a homeboy that was on fat shit. The nigga robbed a motherfucking Hardee's or some dumb shit. Know what I mean? He told the nigga, like, look, man. He went to court, got his PSI. They ain't career him out or nothing. He was like, look ahead, man. We gonna get you to cop out to this 25, man. I'm like, God damn, 25 for a fucking robbery? That shit is crazy, but, know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you could take this 25, or if we go to trial, we giving you 80.
Yes.
So, when niggas think about it, they looking at it like, they looking
25,
at it.
I may see
They looking
life.
like, 25, I might get a chance of getting the fuck out again. Or I could risk fighting it, and these niggas got a 99% conviction rate.
Mm-hmm.
So, you want to beat it, but you really doubtful that you're gonna fucking actually beat the charge.
Well, let's think about it a couple of ways. If you don't have the finances and you have to use public defenders, now you're automatically thinking that that's a strike against you.
No.
Them public defenders want you to pop up.
There's no motherfucking paid lawyers for that. They sign you your lawyer, bro.
In the Fed, you get a assigned lawyer?
Yeah.
You can't pay for a lawyer in the
That's why I was
Feds?
wondering how niggas be bailing the fuck out, because they don't give you no bond. I ain't never met a fucking federal inmate that I was locked up with that was able to get a bond out. All them niggas had money.
So how did how did Murder Inc. and them have lawyers when they was fighting that Fed case?
Honestly, I don't have a slight. I mean, I guess if your money is long and you got certain ties, because you know these niggas was moguls.
Well, hold up. I just thought that you was going to be able to pay for your own defense in your own situation.
Man, they got certain lawyers that deal with federal cases.
Yeah, I thought you could get a federal attorney. Like you get your own.
None of the niggas I knew was able to get their own attorney.
Shit makes no sense.
They was all appointing an attorney, and I'm talking about in fucking Tennessee.
Right.
Know what I mean? None of those guys was able to get their own attorney. They all had money. They could have fucking hired Cochran or something if they wanted to, bro. But they couldn't. I was like, yo, why don't you get a different lawyer? Because they got to assign you another lawyer. And you got to show cause to even get another lawyer. So if you ain't happy with your lawyer's defense, you got to there's certain paperwork that you got to fill out to get them to assign you a new lawyer.
So hold up. Let me just ask this again, because I hear you, but I want to make sure I hear you. You dig? Mm-hmm. You're telling me, make sure you keep a time on that. This camera stops every 29 minutes or whatever. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, but we get about
23.
All right, so we'll stop in about 2 minutes. So you're telling me that I cannot pay for my own defense in a Fed case?
I'm telling you.
Based on what you know.
Based on what my experiences with the federal inmates that I was around, the niggas could not get their own lawyers.
And it didn't have nothing to do with that they couldn't afford them?
They all had bread. These niggas was...
Jesus
shit they was going down for, of course, yeah, they was guilty of. The niggas was getting some major dollars.
So could it be because they didn't want them to use those funds that they feel like they didn't get right to you now use it as their defense?
I don't know, because shit, if that was the case, then why can't a federal inmate bond out?
I don't know. I don't even know. I gotta get somebody who know a little bit more about the feds.
Because none of them niggas had bonds. They couldn't bond out. They was in jail for the duration of their motherfucking
Jesus
court situation. Know what I mean?
Crazy.
And shit, there was one nigga that I knew that nigga was supposed to get fucking 4 years. That's why I made that analogy, because there was one nigga I knew that was supposed to get 4 years. His PSI report come back, they careered him out. So even though the charge that he had only held 4 years, he still ended up getting 20.
Jesus.
God damn.
Because they can't once they career you out, you ain't getting no less than 15.
So I guess you're getting 15 plus the 4.
Yeah. That shit is dirty. That shit is dirty.
They the real criminals, though.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Shit is crazy.
They the real criminals.
And they get all their convictions through intimidation. They don't fucking never have to prove a case. Niggas always copping out. And I used to bug me out like, damn, nigga, you copped out to 40 years, bro?
Yeah, they was trying to give me 99.
How the fuck you cop out there? It's like, yeah, it was either that or take that 120. Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, some of these sentences, man, they sound ridiculous to me. 100 and plus years.
It's crazy. But yo,
this shit is for drugs. It ain't even like it's for motherfucking. Ain't like these motherfuckers running around serial killers or some shit.
Nah, man.
These niggas are just trying to feed their family and feed the other people, their family's family.
That shit crazy.
You feel me? I mean, obviously this shit is not right, but you gotta get it how you live. These motherfuckers been robbing and pillaging motherfucking cities for forever. And not one war crime. They had none of these motherfuckers have went to jail for none of the shit that they did. Know what I mean? But
so we're gonna hit this little quick break, and then we're gonna come back and talk about not only how these paid prisons get down, but we're gonna speak about those Rockefeller RICO laws that they're using now to get people on conspiracy charges to just being affiliated with people who did shit. You necessarily didn't have to do nothing. You just affiliation to get you. We'll be right back, man. 2 MCs in the Mic podcast.
Peace.
Welcome back, baby.
Welcome back.
This is not really a great conversation for me. I really feel it in my soul. It's pain in my heart just even thinking about, you know, when you think about how the deck is stacked against you.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? That shit hurts deeply to the soul, my G. Like, you know, I'm never scared to tell nobody I never did any prison time. I just feel lucky. I don't even feel like, you know, I feel like I just selected certain cards that didn't put me into certain play. I'm just keeping it a buck because there's a lot of shit that I know that I got away with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to convict myself with anything else, but I just got lucky. And, for my brothers who end up doing time, to think about how our communities be so fucked up and you do whatever it takes to survive. Think about it, right? You come from a certain community, you can't get no job. And as soon as you catch young charges and you have these charges stuck on you, nobody will ever hire you. So you go back to the streets to do what you need to do, which creates a cycle that they gets to use against you to get you.
That's how the cycle happens. Cause you come home, you're trying to do the right thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're doing everything you could do to try and do the right thing, but you know it's hard. You got a felony on your record. And if anybody that knows anybody with a felony, it's hard to get jobs. You got to go to certain places, get a job that you definitely don't want to fucking do.
Yeah.
You know
and sometimes it can't take care of the family.
Exactly.
Sometimes, listen, if you go to jail or prison, you don't get no government assistance.
Nope.
Right? So now, they give you a job that cannot pay for where you're going to live. You don't have enough of it to pay for housing or anything of any certain kind of, you see what I'm saying? So if think about it this way, which would make more sense. And if you got a situation where somebody go to prison, come home, and you want to say rehabilitate him, you want to make sure that he's able to get a good paying job. You want to put him in, while he is in prison or jail, you want to send him to trade school to know that these trades does not get you into a job. So whether it's truck driving, whether it's welding, whether it's being an electrician.
You know what's crazy? They do have those kind of programs in the prison.
Okay.
But sadly, a lot of people don't take advantage of that shit while they're in there. You know what I mean? But they do have programs that will give you a trade, that'll give you could go to school in prison and come home with a trade. You know what I mean?
Right.
But when you do come home, if you want to use the trade, you got to be with somebody that's willing to either hire a felon, one, or you got to start your own business to do it yourself, which takes capital.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You don't have.
Capital.
So is either you're going to motherfucking figure out a way to get the capital, or most people try to get it based on doing the same thing they did to get them sent to prison in the first place.
And if they get caught out there, well, that happens and you get, because you're not allowed while you're on probation to associate with other felons. So you can't live XYZ to another felon. You can't live, you know what I mean? You can't
live in the same household.
Right.
Right, because if they see you, if they catch you with another felon, they sending your ass right back.
Well, first and foremost, you can't even go to the house if another felon is living there.
Yeah, you won't be paroled to a house if there's another felon already paroled.
They don't parole you when you come home. Well, I know as far as the feds is concerned, you come home and you got to go to a halfway house automatic. They ain't no just coming back to the streets. Supposed
It's
to
like
go
a
to a halfway
transitional
house. I
house
guess
to the
maybe it was a little different for like 6ix9ine because he snitched on some niggas or something. But normally, When you come home from federal prison, you come home to a halfway house.
This nigga ain't never gonna let 6ix9ine down.
I mean, shit, at the end of the day, shit, he gonna be a snitch forever.
Snitch.
I mean,
He's a rat, man.
I mean, that's just something that the public actually know about his situation. So,
Right. So it's easy to speak on.
Yeah, it's easy to make an analogy to that.
Right.
But he didn't have to go. I don't think he had to even go to a motherfucking halfway house when he came home. But most people do. I don't care if you do 18 months or you do 18 years. You coming home, you got to go to a halfway house for a certain amount of period of time, and then they allow you to go to your home.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if you're a felon and you automatically coming home on probation, so even if you got 18 years and you did 18 years, when you come home, you still got to do 2 to 3 years on probation.
Right.
Federal probation anyway. So technically, your 18 years is really 20 to 21 years.
Prison ain't no joke.
And it's designed for you to slip up so you can go back.
I think all the systems,
they give you the rope.
Yeah, every single system is set up to fuck you.
Yeah.
One way or the other.
Right.
Yes, man. And they give you enough rope to hang yourself. Like, they'll have you come home. You be home 6 months. The niggas ain't even fuck with you like that. They ain't give you no piss test. So they let you feel safe enough to get back into your old habits.
Exactly.
Like, start smoking again, smoking your little weed or whatever.
And then they call
you. And then out of nowhere, they hit you with the urine.
Yeah, we need the urine today. Come on, let's go.
We need that today, man.
Let's go.
And you sitting there thinking that you was good. They give you enough rope, and they ain't gonna test you probably six to 8 months until after you came home.
All by design, my friend.
You know what I mean? Because they know that if they wait that long, if you was gonna get back into something,
you give him the time.
Yeah, give him enough time. He'll get back into his old ways, and boom, we can violate his ass or send him to a motherfucking situation. They normally give you about 2 to 3 chances. Know what I mean?
While you're on probation.
Yeah, before they fucking just lock you right on up. Well, in Tennessee, them niggas ain't care. Probation, I wasn't on federal probation. This is regular probation.
Right.
The probation out there is designed to send niggas back to jail. Parole is designed to keep niggas on the streets. Know what I mean?
So you'd be better off on parole than on probation.
Because on parole, you're doing your time while you're on the streets. On probation, you could say you got 5 years probation. You could do 4 years on probation, violate, they take the whole 4 years away. You got to redo your fucking whole 5.
Damn. Fuck, man.
You know what I mean? That shit is designed like that. So you don't give a fuck if you was doing good for fucking.
So that means that you could have had 1 day left on probation and they get violated.
Yeah.
And now you got to do 5 all over again.
I mean, they're taking into consideration. They ain't assholes like that.
But technically,
but you're definitely going to do more than 1 day. Believe that. You're going to give them
more than 1 day.
Probably going to give them like at least 2 years. They're like, yeah, we're going to let you keep 3 of those 5
and
that
you did.
2. But 2 of these, you're going to have to be taking 2 of them.
Jesus
Christ.
They don't give us. They don't give them no. They don't get no breaks.
Hell no. Why would they give a break? It's like giving away money. Businesses ain't in the business of giving away their profits.
That's why they give. So they gave you a discount. You know what I mean? You got crazy, a discount. Man. So
crazy.
Back to the situation. If you understand the fact that you are worth a dollar figure to the prison, you can understand the fact that why these charges are the way it is. And that should at least give you the idea that how you move is going to be super important going forward.
Yes.
The things that you could just wild out by, and I think that's why they're getting these young guys so easy, because these young guys super emotional. They're ready to go.
Yeah, man, they getting these young guys so easy because, well, at least the rappers, bro.
Yeah, well,
they talk about shit that they actually doing on these fucking records, man. I'm sitting there like, how retarded is that?
Convicting themselves on records.
But it's like, you ain't really a real, as far as the drill shit go.
Right.
You ain't real unless you really doing the shit that you say on your records. It used to be entertainment. Know what I mean? I mean, some niggas it was really about the action they be talking about, but there wasn't actual incidents where they speaking on that they could get, that could get fucking traced back to them. These niggas is doing shit like, yeah, man, I'm smoking on such and such because I smoked that same nigga. They talking about they smoking on a nigga that they done smoked for real. Know what I mean? And then wonder why niggas is getting these charges.
They created their charges.
Of course, man. You told on yourself, bro. You really
Snitched
can't.
on yourself.
You can't be mad at a snitch nigga if you're gonna snitch on yourself, bro, cause you a snitch too. You just snitched on yourself, bro. Which is the dumbest snitch ever. Know what I mean?
That shit crazy.
Shit is bananas. Know what I mean?
Well, I guess now we know.
Yeah, man.
But so, if you understand how the prison system is set up, then you understand that we are all designed to fail in the greater scale of things. And one thing we're gonna have to do for our young black guys is to stop being so emotional. Some of our older cats, because our emotions to react.
Yeah, man.
A lot of times get us.
It is what it is, man. Niggas can't really, certain shit you just don't fuck with. It ain't even about you being emotional. It ain't even about you being emotional, but it's just about certain shit that you just refuse to tolerate.
Nah, I'm with that too. I guess what I'm trying to say is that regardless of how it is, if the game getting played different, you're going to have to move different or you're just going to keep on eating the same situation. So, whether,
you gotta adapt.
Exactly. Maybe that's the better word. So, we got to teach people how to adapt. Maybe you still do some shit, but how you go about it now has to change with the time.
Yeah, you gotta do shit smarter, man.
Yeah, if the times change, then
work smarter, not harder. If you work hard, you catch a charge.
Yeah, man.
That's gonna be the new thing. Work smart, don't work hard. Because if you work hard, you go back catch a charge.
Yeah, that's crazy though. Because it could be like if a motherfucker disrespect another man, he's automatically gonna feel some kind of way about it.
And I'm gonna tell you
so
stuff.
How do you avoid situations where a motherfucker blatantly disrespects you and then say, so what now, nigga, and what you gonna do about it?
And I'm gonna tell you how that works where me and this nigga from. The same scenario happens in Jamaica. The nigga look at you, laugh, and say, all right, cool. Mm-hmm. That's what he do. He look at you, he laugh, he be like, all right, cool. Mm-hmm. And maybe a week or two will go by, a month go by, and he'll smile, he won't say nothing, and then all of a sudden your head get taken off.
Pretty much.
I swear to God, where I come from.
I understand. Do we go to prison for it?
Most of the times they get away with it.
Yeah, well, that's different in these states, brother. It is much different in these states.
Most of the time they get away with because in Jamaica, just real quick, they set motherfuckers up for shit they'll set you up on some shit like, so the whole shit be set up, and unless they uncover the whole gambit, a lot of times you're set up. A lot of times you may be in a party and then the nigga come and shank you in the middle of the shit, or, you know, they'll stab you in the head. Or a nigga, they like to catch niggas off guard. That's what they call it, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. They catch you off guard, catch you out of your element, catch you off, what you call it.
Yep.
And that's how they get you. So the nigga that you had I'm just talking, let's just look at the interaction though, right? Mm-hmm. The interaction that you had that you just mentioned would be the other niggas that remember just what you said. Like, he would say something like that. Remember what you said now, all right? He cool and he smile and he walk off. And I'm talking about a nigga that probably got 30, 40 bodies that he has no problem with just even shoot. But because of whatever he thinking that he has to deal with, he'll just be like, all right, cool. And then while you think you lost, he'll take the L in the battle because he know he's going to win the war. Mm-hmm. And that's what I guess that's what I'm saying is that, do you think, I guess, that we could retrain ourselves to think different about not so much want to react instantly? Because I'm thinking that the motherfucker who reacted right then and there be like, yo, sometime be sitting in there behind them walls like, yo, that nigga wasn't even worth it, or I should have just handled it different.
It depends on the situation. You know what I mean? Depends on some situations a nigga want a motherfucker to know. Like, nigga, I did this to you, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
normally it's an emotional situation.
That's why I use the word emotional while you told me that.
That's what I'm saying, man. Certain things, certain emotions you can't avoid. A nigga killed my brother. Nigga, I don't give a fuck about going to prison for handling that smoke because I want a motherfucker to know, yeah, I did this for my brother.
Yeah. I mean, if somebody hurt my child,
exactly,
situation like that, yeah.
Know what I mean?
I am sure there's levels to all of this.
The difference between out here and Jamaica, everything out here is under surveillance. So even if you do wait around, you still might get caught on camera doing some shit.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean? Everything is under surveillance. If we walk outside right now, I'm sure there'll be some camera somewhere that we can see us sitting right in the front.
Nah, and I'm with you on all of that. I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying that some of it, because there's nothing 100%, right?
Oh yeah, a lot of it can be avoided.
Right.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
A lot of shit could be overlooked. Some of the shit that niggas be dying for be the stupidest shit in the world.
Right.
Like fucking Popeye's chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Niggas dying over that. There's some people that died over that shit, bro.
Right.
That shit is like the worst, the dumbest reason to die in the world.
Yeah, and
You know what
I
I
guess
mean?
my question becomes, there got to be levels to some of this shit that we allow to roll off our back, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, man. You know, I mean, at some point you could just be having a bad day too. Sometimes you just caught a motherfucker at the right time in the wrong mood.
Listen, all of what you're saying is 100%.
Yeah.
But I guess what I'm getting to is we're going to have to find some balance of something that we could change based on how it's set up right now. The card is stacked against us heavily. So
Yeah, they always. I
Right.
don't see there ever being an end to that situation. The cards is always going to be stacked against the black man, black and the brown. Know what I mean?
right.
Cards is going to
Yeah.
be stacked against us.
Always.
No matter what it is that we do.
Right.
And the problem with the youngsters is they don't like to listen.
Well, yeah,
You could tell
That's
them,
true.
You could tell them that they about to run into a brick wall, but until they run into that brick wall, they like, nigga, fuck what you talking about.
They gotta
You know what I
feel
mean?
that shit first.
They like, nigga, let me run into it then.
You gotta feel
Let
that
me,
wall.
you know what I mean, what do you do about that kind of ignorance? There ain't no way to avoid that kind of ignorance because shit, it's all around us.
Right. Well, this is what I'm saying. A mindset, generation wise, when we were slaves and shit, and we spoke about this, it was a mindset. After a while, the slave masters didn't have to do nothing. We was
And that's
Trained,
something I talk
man.
Yeah,
about
we
all
was
the
doing
time.
It's called being trained and
right,
programmed.
exactly,
I mean, nowadays television does the programming.
right.
Exactly.
So-
the media, man.
Uh-huh.
Right. So, on my topic, on my point that I'm trying to prove is that, with that being said, if we don't retrain ourselves and our youngins, then chicken sandwiches and all the young things and certain things that they're doing now becomes the norm. It becomes acceptable
The
of
cycle ain't
behavior.
gonna change.
Exactly. So there is still got to be something that has to break the mold and say, "Oh, this is what we have to move." Because the reason why I can explain what the Jamaican dude do is because it was a trained behavior for bad boys to move that way in that area. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they better or none of that. What I'm just saying is that that's a cultural thing to move that way.
Yeah.
So they move that way. You dig what I'm saying? Like a nigga gonna be like, all right, you good, you got that, but I know he coming back. I know he coming. You better know. You better go look for him because he's definitely looking for you. You know what I mean? So it's either
That's normally how it goes out here too. Unless a motherfucker got that shit right on them right then at the time, and then they're like,
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
And plus, a lot of people, they like to make sure the job is done. You know what I mean?
this nigga gonna hold his guns no matter what I say. He's like, yeah, I know what you're saying, but
They make sure that the job is done. They like, listen, man. Some people don't care. They send, we call them send outs. You know what I mean? A motherfucker that don't give a fuck about nothing. He's gonna walk up to you, want to look you in the face when it happens to make sure that you down for the count.
all of that I could get because there's a rebel and there's a cause for everything.
You know what I mean?
But again, all right, let's paint the picture this way then. Because you're not going to change your, let's paint the picture this way.
No, I mean, I agree
No,
with you
no,
as far as trying to getting these
No,
youngsters to understand.
I like when you stand on that side because the youngsters are saying what you're saying. So I need you to say what they say so I can say what I can say. So you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If you just say yes to what I say, then the youngsters gonna be like, nah, cause I don't feel that way. Cause this. So you are always giving me what they would say in my, because if I was speaking to them right here, these would be the things they would be saying to me.
And the devil's advocate.
Exactly. So what I'm trying to say is, could we minimize some of what's happening in regards to, we need to set levels to some of the things that's an automatic go and some of the things that we could possibly be like, I get that later.
Yeah, but how would you go about
I mean,
training the youth?
it's
We have to take at least, there would have to be a change in the way we do things first.
everything will have to change.
Because the things that these kids is doing, the shit that they learn watching other motherfuckers do.
Right.
The shit just gonna take time. I think it's time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, number one thing is opportunity breeds a different mindset, because a lot of the times the same crime is being bred out of necessities in life that people been living and been going through. The effects of the stuff that they have been dealing with. So if you think about it on a nutshell and in a greater good of whatever, you know what I mean? The whole situation.
Yeah.
If you know that, see what happened back in the day when you had OGs who had money, this little nigga over there didn't have no shoes. And these little boys over there who had shoes was laughing at him. He could go to an OG and get a pair of shoes. Now he feel like he leveled up.
Yeah.
Now in the hood, he ain't got no shoes, and the niggas with shoes laughing at him. He go get the motherfucking hammer, bam, 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 fuck you in your shoes now.
Yeah.
Or
give me your shoes.
Oh, give me your shoes.
Know what I mean?
Now you ain't gonna have shoes either. Or what he gonna do is when he see they go inside and left the shoes outside, he gonna take all them motherfuckers. So now we all ain't gonna have no shoes. See what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, before there was structure where you know that if you didn't have something, you could holler at somebody, he'll help you get it. However, which way you get it, he get it. You know what I mean? There was the neighborhood. There was a structure. Even with wrong, even in the doing of wrongs, there was right or wrongs in the doing the wrongs. If you was a certain age, you couldn't stand on that corner selling no drugs. I don't care what your circumstances. I'll get you money. I'll get you what you need, but you're not standing on this corner selling nothing. You dig what I'm saying? You had to be built a certain way to even be on that block. There was rules and regulations of what you could do and not do. You couldn't just go get a pack and come on the block and stand there and do work. There were certain things that had to happen because they had to make sure that, one, you wasn't getting the block hot so that business could always flow. And two, if you ate something, you wouldn't sit there and just tell on everybody. You was going to be able to shut your mouth and eat your own time. So you had to be vetted, and the vetting process wasn't a motherfucking 1 day or 2 day. It was a long time of a lot of coaching from niggas who's going to make sure you did X, Y, Z, and all of that happened. Then what ended up happening is they caught these OGs on all of these RICO and federal charges, and they gave them all of these kingpin charges that they got rid of all of them. And then the next up was probably 16, 17, because he missed it because he was right under the age. He may have went to juvie, came back at 22, 21, and because he was rolling with the big nigga, now he becomes the OG of the area. Because he was rolling with the big boy, and the big boy said, yeah, that's my little youngin'. Yeah, I fucks with him. He's good. He's solid. So now this little solid nigga that didn't have enough life. Because experience gives you wisdom.
Ain't got no experience.
Exactly.
Ain't got enough knowledge to actually play the position you play.
Right. He's solid in other ways, but he doesn't have knowledge is key. Because there's a lot of stuff that we right now face as men that we didn't have the knowledge, economics, financial stuff that we don't know about. We blow money on shit that we don't know about because nobody told us that we could go buy stock over here and live off of the residuals, and nobody teaches the other game that we're as grown men that we don't know.
We ain't the game that we ain't playing.
Yeah. At this age, we're trying to figure that out. Yep. We don't know that game. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. So that young 27 or now 25-year-old is now the hood OG. And he's going to rock it the best way he know how. And right now he's on syrup, he smoke weed or whatever, and maybe he's not even on no drugs, but he's busy trying to smash up something, do something that he probably don't have the discipline that the older OG had. So now he was probably 50%. And then now he getting knocking another nigga that at his 50%, he gets another nigga to come in and take over. That's now 25. Because he's half of what that nigga was. And then when you start to look at the stacks, it's lower and lower and lower.
From generation to generation, there's less and less knowledge because...
Exactly, because most of the knowledge in prison.
They're adopting a lot of motherfuckers at younger ages now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So I think those are what the situation is, and it's perfect for what we're going to talk about too. Remember, you got to keep a time check on that camera for us. You got to give me a thumbs up when we're getting on so we could roll out.
We 22 minutes, man.
I'm
watching
cool.
it.
So then what happened is they got these federal RICO charges, which were made for organized crime charges.
Yep.
And what they was set up for, because a lot of the time the mafia dons never physically did nothing. They would just send out orders and get shit done.
Yeah, so in order to get the kingpins or the brains of the operation, they had to connect the whole conglomerate together.
Exactly.
And in the process of doing that, they're able to charge the actual motherfucker.
Right. So they
want to get.
Right. So that became a situation where they said, not because you didn't physically commit the murder, but because you were in that organization and was conspiring in that situation, you could get the same amount of charges as the nigga who pulled the trigger.
And we giving you the kingpin charge.
And we giving you the kingpin charge because you're actually the brains. You just don't physically do the work. So what they did now was take those same charges, and now they started to put it on street gangs. So what would happen is, me and you here, we chill, and they say we cool with Blam. And he may be your friend or something. You talk to him all the time. And they say, well, Blam been having his group, his little unit, put off work all day in the streets. Because you are affiliated to him, we're going to grab all of you guys and throw you in there and then tell you, now this is the feds or whatever, going to get you on that racketeering charge. And they're going to say, listen, I got you on phone calls talking to him about XYZ. Could have nothing to do with that.
It don't got nothing to do with nothing. You could have been asking them to bring you a burger.
Exactly.
And these
they said the burger was drugs.
The burger was a brick.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And they lock you up based on that conversation.
Now think
because
about,
you said you told a nigga to bring you a burger, and they using it like, when he say burger, he mean trip because he said burger to this guy.
Exactly.
And they connect all these conversations together and try
and they paint that picture.
Paint a picture of some crazy shit going on, even if you had nothing to do with the entire fucking operation.
Right.
You just made a call to the wrong motherfucker at the wrong time. They got the call, and now you connected to the case.
Right. And now federal cases don't go to court like every other day.
Yeah,
you may see the judge 1 year, and then 2 years later you have another court case.
Yeah.
So you're sitting there, and then they come to you and say, listen, you ain't really the big one in this. You light. I'll get you out of here in another 6 to 8 months if you cop to this, that, and the other, because you don't have no other priors, but I need you to either flip on this person, or they need you to, they
need you to tell something.
They need you to tell something. So they start peeling off.
You got to cooperate. You need to be a CI. Know what I mean? I forgot they got a code for the paperwork. When you go to a federal prison, as soon as you go in that motherfucker, niggas is asking for your P work so they can see if you snitched or not.
Exactly.
If you snitch, they going at your neck, or you going checking in the PC.
Protective custody.
They got cars. They like, you in this car. So if see in federal prison, this motherfuckers from all over the country in there. So if say you get locked up in the South, the majority of the motherfuckers might be from Georgia and Tennessee.
Right.
Then they might have like maybe 10 motherfuckers from New York. Now each car is the state that you from.
Right.
They be like, yo, your car over there. So you go to Chow, whatever. They be like, they go your car. Most niggas will point you in the direction of the niggas that's from your city or your motherfucking state. You know what I mean?
All right, we had 26.
Yeah. I mean, they mostly do that. Then you go to your car, you line up with niggas, and they give you the ins and outs. Most of the time, they give you some kind of care package to get you by for a little bit. But it's all separated according to states.
Right. So when you're in federal prison, you rock with your state. When you're in state prison, you rock with your city.
With your city or your gang
or whatever. Gang or whatever.
I mean, whatever organization you're a part of or want to be a part of.
So, I guess what I'm trying to sit here and paint the picture of so that we can make sure this makes sense and wrap it up properly is that the crimes and the times are what you would get 5 and 6 years for. You're getting 15 and 24. And it's all designed because these people want that bread. They want that welcome to our extended stay bread.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
The longer the better, baby.
Exactly. And they even set you up in prisons. They'll bunk you with somebody to get you a charge so they can keep you in there longer. Caught another charge while you in prison.
Oh yeah.
Dig what I'm saying?
Know plenty of motherfuckers that caught a charge that was in there doing 1 to 2 years and ended up doing a life sentence. Because of one incident that happened during the 1 or 2 years that they were supposed to be doing to get the fuck out.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just saying we're going to have to rethink how we think now. It doesn't make a difference of what it is. No because doubt, hurt people, and our mindset has to change towards it. We got to also see each other in a different light as people. That way we could get certain things going. You dig what I'm saying? This is the 2 MCs on the Mic podcast, man.
Remember, each one teach one.
You definitely. And we out.
We out.